So we are starting out laying down today so that we can really allow that back body to just fall and relax onto the floor. And find your breath. Find your big inhales that inflate your rib cage, inflate your belly like a big balloon. And your big exhales compress everything into center. So the rib cage compresses inward, the belly pulls inward toward the spine. And you could have a little gentle bend in your knees if you like. If you have been at that desk a lot today, something that might feel nice is with a little bend in your knees, taking your feet kind of wide, maybe even wider than your yoga mat, and dropping your knees together. Oh, and that allows the low back to release a little bit. It should feel good. And let's just take a moment just to focus on the sounds of the breath, the feel of the breath. See if you can become aware of each exhale draining a little bit of tension out of your body. So finding a little bit heavier shoulder blades, a little bit heavier in the hips with each breath. Notice where you feel your body the most right now. Where do you feel the effects of your day, week, month, year? And perhaps using your imagination a little playfully here. The places that you feel the most, could you, in your mind, maybe imagine some little gills there that you could breathe into and out of, diffusing any tension, inviting space and balance. Okay, having brought your awareness to breath and then body, let's notice another aspect of what's going on this mat. All right, let's notice mind. Let's see what's going on in the mental landscape. We notice thoughts and emotions kind of fluttering by. And we can choose to just observe without getting caught up, because all that matters is this moment. We might look with amused compassion at thoughts of the past and the future. And yet we're just resting here, observing right here in this moment. Let's bring in a little gentle movement to this laying down posture. So if your legs are long, go ahead and bend your knees and put them a little closer toward your hips. Your knees are pointing up. And again, we want to walk the feet kind of wide. Okay, I like to take them all the way off the edges of my mat. And you can kind of play with what makes sense for you. But we'll start to drop the knees side to side. Very slowly, very gently. We're mostly letting gravity do the work. Okay, so side to side. The knees drop, gravity pulls them down. So what's going on here is we have a really nice internal and then external rotation from each hip. Gently warming up that joint, that big hip joint on each side. But also we have a really sweet rotation coming up through the low back. So it should feel nice in your low back. And then maybe once we've done this for a few rounds, we'd like to activate it a little more. Maybe you actively move the knees down toward the mat. And find a little more spaciousness in that inner and outer hip as you do that. Okay, let's really enjoy the twistiness of this little twisty posture. Next time your knees drop to the right, pause there, okay? Let them fall. Okay, reach that right hand out to the right. Then take the left hand and put it on top of the right. Stack your knees and arrange yourself into what I like to call a sandwich shape, because we're nicely stacked into this neat little sandwich shape. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and hands stacked. Now, something that you'll notice here is when you stack yourself like this, your spine will tend to kind of relax and kind of sag down toward the floor. Put a little bit of a lift in it so that you can make it as neutral as possible. Okay, you can think of there being a little mouse hole under your right side. As a matter of fact, if you slid your hand, your left hand under your right side, it would go all the way through. So keep your mouse hole and keep your long neck as we begin to twist. We'll use the left fingers on the floor. So put the left fingers on the floor. Sweep a big half circle over your head as you inhale deeply, big chest. The left hand ends up reaching all the way out to the left, and you can look out at it, allowing that twist to move all the way up to the base of your skull. And we'll come back the way we came on the exhale, tracing your left hand path back to the right hand. Let's do that several more times. So we inhale to open up into this twist. Big chest. And we exhale to close it back up. Okay, maybe you do this with your eyes closed. That might feel nice. Big expansive inhale. Bring it back on the exhale. Maybe 2 more times, just like that. You want to feel that twist moving all the way up your spine. Okay, next time your left hand reaches out to the left, let's pause here and just enjoy it, okay? Maybe the right hand grabs a knee just to kind of hold the knees there. Let's definitely press our shoulder blades down, especially that left one. And remember to breathe. On your inhales, does your spine feel a little bit longer? And with your exhales, use your belly muscles to pull the belly button in toward the spine. Let's take 3 more long, slow breaths here. Enjoy. Big chest inhales. Big twist exhales. Almost as if you're arching your spine up off the floor here as you ground your shoulder blades. 1 more breath. Let's bring the knees through center and we'll just switch sides. So if you drop your knees to the left and turn to face out to the left, reaching your hands out in that direction, we'll make another sandwich shape on this side, and I'll spin around to face you. Sandwich shape, everything stacks nicely right over left. And now we're lifting the left side up off the mat, just making a little mouse hole there so that the spine doesn't sag over much. And the right fingers are drawing this half circle now. So right fingers draw a big half circle overhead as you inhale. And exhale to bring it back around. Let's do that a few more times. Open up, inhale. Close it up, exhale. As you move into and out of your twist, could you keep that spine as long as possible? Always inviting a little extra space than we had before. Always open to the possibility that we could get a little longer here. Next time you open up, let's hold here and just enjoy this twist. So the right shoulder blade is grounding. We're looking out to the right. Perhaps the left hand grabs a knee. Breathe. Long spine, inhale. Belly button to spine, exhale. Again, check out that sense that you're almost arching your back up off the floor here as you ground your shoulder blades. Enjoy one more breath here. And let's bring the legs back into center. Come on back. Okay, if you ground your hands by your hips, we'll take some bridges. So our knees are pointed up. Our feet and our knees are the same distance apart as our hips. And before we go anywhere, I want to ask you to use your imagination again and put an imaginary tennis ball between your knees. So to hold your tennis ball, you've got to engage your knees inward slightly, bringing in a little inner thigh engagement. Did you notice that as soon as you did that, your core felt a little bit more in control? Okay, that's what we're going for. Keep your nose pointed directly up at the ceiling, and we'll lift the hips up high as you'd like, and we'll drop them low. We could think of inhaling up and exhaling down. Some people prefer to do the opposite. You choose which one you like best. Some people like to exhale up, okay? But either way, keep breathing, hips up, hips down. Okay, are you still holding your tennis ball between your knees? I dropped mine, okay? So I've got to put mine back there and hold it, keeping that inner thigh engagement. Let's make this a little more interesting. As you pick the hips up and set them down, could you begin to roll the spine up one vertebra at a time, like you're picking up a pearl necklace, one bead at a time? And exhale to set one down, one at a time. Let's try that a few times. Roll it up, inhale, keep your tennis ball. Roll it down, exhale. Always lengthening that tailbone away from the top of your head. Let's keep going. Keeping that back of the neck arching softly off the mat so your nose points straight up. Okay, next time you lift your hips, hold right here with me. Hold and breathe. You've got your tennis ball between your knees. You've got the tip of your nose pointing straight up. Perhaps you engage your hamstrings and try to drag your heels towards your shoulder blades. Notice how that feels. Turn it on the back body here, big time. Let's take 3 breaths as we drag the heels toward the shoulder blades. Keep your tennis ball. 2 breaths. One more breath. Okay, this time, as you roll down, could you take 3 or 4 breaths to come all the way down, rolling that spine down, one vertebra at a time. Okay, as soon as your hips land, bring your knees in close. Tuck your hands behind them, and we'll rock up and down a few times. So this is a really nice opportunity for a little back massage. And I want you to take advantage of it. Maybe taking your knees quite wide will help you a little more stability here. Should feel nice on your back, okay? Next time you rock up, can you try to balance on your hips? Try it again. Try it a few times. Rock it up and balance. Maybe 2 more times. Next time you come up, try to balance right here. Let's hold and breathe in our boat posture, Navasana. So we have so many options in Navasana. I'll just run through them with you. You can drop your fingers behind you and your toes in front at any time. You're still in Navasana. You can grab behind your knees, slightly leaning back, perhaps lifting your feet today or another lifetime. Okay, maybe reaching forward for a little extra challenge. Let's take a few more breaths here. I want to challenge you to find your longest spine and the belly button pulling in towards your spine. Tailbone points slightly at your toes. Last breath. Go ahead and drop your feet here. If you point your knees out to one side, we can flip it over to hands and knees, and I'll meet you there. Okay, here we are. Let's take some cat-cows. Gripping the mat with your strong hands. Pull your elbows in slightly and lift that belly button away from the floor. Okay, with your inhale, pull your heart forward between your arms. Okay, lifting the belly button allows that extension to go more into your upper back than your lower back. As you exhale, push the floor away. And I like to let my head hang here and kind of shake it out. Feels good. Take a few more rounds just like that. Inhale, heart pulls forward. Big, big, big heart. Exhale, push that floor away. Okay, keep it going. Now I want to invite you to make this not just a front and back movement, but also side to side. So maybe you kind of jump rope your spine all the way around and get a little bit more lateral movement. Opening up some little spots between your ribs, maybe. Then go ahead and find a nice flat back. We'll get the right leg out behind. Let's make sure we're internally rotating that right hip so the right toes point straight down. And of course, we have a little lift in the belly button so the low back is supported. It's not just hanging. Okay, pressing extra weight into that right hand. Reach forward with your left. So long shape across the back body, which is holding up your arm and leg. The front body is pressing the floor away. So we have this great balancing act between front and back body. Here we go. We're going to get the core a little bit more warm. So inhaling here, reach out through the lifted arm and leg. Exhaling here, pull the right knee and the left elbow in, push that floor away. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach out long, lift and breathe. Exhale, pull it in, push that floor. One more, just like that. Inhale, reach it out long. Exhale, pull it in, and let's hold right here. Hold and breathe. Pushing that floor. Always you can come down with the left hand if you need to. I want to give you a funky challenge here. It's super funky, so don't take it too seriously, okay? Maybe bend that left knee and point the left toes up at the ceiling. Wow, that's funky. You're balancing on your left kneecap and your right hand. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down to hands and knees. And this might be a nice time to sit back on your feet and let's stretch our wrists out a little bit, because let's face it, we overuse our wrists and we don't give them a lot of attention. So if you point your fingers down, looking at your palms, you can roll over the top of your hand. Oh, it should feel good. Okay, take a little time rolling side to side, finding the most tender places that you need to roll out. And then let's flip the pancake over. So pointing your fingers down with the palm down, roll onto the palm, and then we can peel it up and down a few times. Okay, let's do the other side, shall we? So if we come back to hands and knees, we'll get the left leg out behind this time. And make sure the left leg is internally rotating at the hip. So all the toes point down, and we lift a little bit in the belly button. Let's reach forward with the right hand. So same posture, other side. The front body pushes down, the back body lifts up, and in between we have that strong supportive core and a long spine. Inhaling here, long as you can be. Exhaling, pull it in, strong as you can be. Maybe kiss your knee. Mwah. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale to be long. Exhale, pull it in. 1 more. Here we go. Long and strong. Pull it in, hold and breathe. Okay. Do you want to try that funky challenge here? Let's try. Okay. You can always put the right hand down. No problem. How about bending the right knee, pointing the right toes up toward the ceiling? This is super weird. Balancing on that right kneecap for 3, 2, and 1. Come on down. I'd like to take another little wrist stretch here just to really make sure our wrists are okay. So palm up, roll it out. And palm down. All right, are you ready for our first down dog? Let's get into down dog. So from hands and knees, tuck your toes. We'll lift our hips up and back, and we'll just pedal it out for a little while. Our first down dog gets kind of a free pass. It doesn't have to be a textbook down dog. We can think of it as kind of a playful, dynamic dog. We can wag our tail side to side as we kind of goofily walk out the legs, and then it helps to give the head a good shake. Yes. And a really nice shake. No. Let's roll the shoulder blades all around the back. Give them some really good circles. Bending those elbows, and let's roll the shoulder blades back the other way. All right, as you're ready, bend your knees and tiptoe to your hands. You might keep your knees bent here as you fold, kind of hugging your upper body over your very bent knees. Press into your heels here. We're coming up. So inhaling, stack your spine like it's the first time. Reach your heart up from the front and the back of your heart. Okay, as you exhale, drop it into a chair posture. We think of dropping our hips as we lift our toes. Nice little challenge for your legs. Back up to standing on your inhale. With your exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your hips, and fold all the way down. Come up halfway on your inhale, looking forward. And a very big fold on your exhale, bending your knees. Let the head go. Palms are down here. Let's inhale. Walk the feet back to a plank. And you can use your knees in a plank, of course. With your exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Pull those elbows in. Inhaling here, pull your heart forward for a lovely cobra, shining your heart past the front of your mat. You can really pull with your strong cobra arms. With your exhale, let that go. Tuck your toes, and I'll meet you back in a down dog. Let's walk out this one too. Notice the backs of the legs, and we'll take a few more little vinyasas like that just to warm things up a little more, okay? Here we go. Heart moves forward. Inhale, find your plank. And exhale, tiptoe to your hands and fold. Roll it up. Inhale, lift your heart front and back. Exhale, drop your hips into a chair posture, slightly pulling your knees in as you lift your heart. Back up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Halfway up. Inhale. Big fold. Exhale, hug your legs. Palms are down here. Inhale and walk it back to your plank. Maybe your knees come down. As you exhale, pull your elbows into your ribs and lower yourself all the way down. Again, a cobra. As you pull your heart forward, big breath in. Peel your big heart up and forward. Exhale, down dog. All right, one more just like that. One more little vinyasa. Inhaling here, heart forward for a plank. Maybe knees down, maybe not. Exhale, tiptoe to your hands and fold. Roll it up, inhale. Sit down into your chair, squat for your exhale. Inhale to stand. Exhale to fold. Halfway up, inhale. Big fold, exhale. Palms are down. Inhaling, tiptoe back to your plank. Exhale all the way down. Inhale for your cobra heart. Exhale for your down dog. Now we are nice and warm, so let's really enjoy this down dog. Let's take 5 or 6 long, slow breaths here. Maybe close your eyes. For your down dog alignment cues, you might grip the mat with your strong hands, pull your elbows in slightly, and send your heels way toward the back of the mat. They might not come down, but they're moving in that direction, okay? You can think of the feet trying to pull the mat back and the hands trying to push the mat forward. One more big breath in right here. And with your exhale, let it go. We're coming back down to hands and knees. So we'll take the right foot forward and plant it by the right hand. We can rock the hips back and forward here. Kind of opening up any space on the back of the right leg, the right hamstring. Maybe that left hip flexor needs a little opening. Who knows? Okay, next time your hips rock forward. Let's hang out a little bit in this lunge and turn it into a twist. So grounding into your left hand, reach up with your right. Take a big breath in as you spiral your chest way open. Big, big chest. As you exhale, bend your right elbow. See how close you can bring it to your left wrist. You're going to have to bend that left wrist, that left elbow probably, to get close. And you might touch or not. It doesn't matter. Let's come up again. Inhale, reach up, big chest. Exhale, send that right elbow to that left wrist. Just see how close you can get. Again, big breath in, coming up. Big exhale, coming down. One last time, reach up on your inhale and hold right here and breathe. Options. If you need a break, put your right hand on your knee or on the floor. Okay, you're still here with us. If you want, you can tuck the back toes. Okay, you can tuck the left toes and hover the left knee, strengthening that left leg like a strong tree trunk. Okay, remember to put a little engagement between your knees and maybe sink the hips a little lower. Nice breath here. Enjoying this lovely twisty lunge. One more big breath in. And let's bring it down with your exhale. That back knee can come down if it was up. Let's drop that top hand. And let's just sink into this lunge and just enjoy it for what it is, okay? You might shimmy your right foot out to the right a little bit. Point the toes and the knee out to the right. Make a little more space in your hip. And you may have a block that you want to bring your elbows down to, okay, underneath your shoulders. You may be happy staying up on your hands, but put a little bend in your elbows so they're not locking and they're definitely pointing back. Perhaps today you come down to 1 or 2 elbows, but no matter where you are, lengthen your neck, your shoulder blades move away from your ears, and let your head go. Just drop it. Let it hang. We'll just take some long, slow breath here, enjoying this lovely lunge. While you're here, you might take a look at your hips. If you notice that your left hip is a lot lower than your right hip, you may experiment with shifting your hips over to the right until they're more level. Just notice how that feels. Maybe one more big breath here. Remember to keep at least a little tiny bit of engagement between your knees, as if they're still trying to snap together. Okay. And then we'll let this go. So as you're ready, come back up on your hands. Maybe scooch the back knee forward, that left knee, and we'll come back to hands and knees. Let's take a down dog just to see how we feel, how it feels different. So tuck your toes, lift the hips up and back. Find a down dog. Okay. As you take a couple breaths here, notice any differences between the right and left side. There may be something different there. Let's take a little vinyasa just to clear it out. You can always skip the vinyasa and just take a resting posture if you need that a little bit more, okay? So inhaling here, pull your heart forward, find a plank, possibly knees down. Exhale and tiptoe to your hands. Fold here. Inhale to roll it up. Lift your huge heart as high as it can go. Exhale, sit into your chair squat. So belly button in, heart lifts. Inhale to stand. Exhale to fold. Halfway up, inhale. Very big fold, exhale. Palms are down here. Inhaling back to your plank, you can tiptoe back. Exhaling, pull your elbows in all the way down. Inhale for a cobra, big heart shines forward. Exhale for a down dog. We'll take a few breaths here and then we'll come back down to the mats. You can always decide to come down early if you need to. But I think it's nice to spend a little time just aligning this down dog just for what it is. Hands grip the mat, elbows in. Kneecaps are lifting and the belly is extremely long on all sides. Maybe one more big breath here. And we'll bring it back down to hands and knees. And let's do the other side. So if you step the left foot next to the left hand, you can rock the hips forward and back here. Kind of feeling out the left hamstring at this point, especially when you pull the hips back and that right hip flexor when you press the hips forward. Next time your hips come forward, we'll settle into this lunge and we'll make it a little bit dynamic. So grounding into your right hand, we can reach up with the left. Think of peeling open your chest with the inhale, watching your hand as it goes up so that that twist goes all the way up to the base of your skull. And exhale, bend that left elbow. How close can you bring it to your right wrist? Maybe bend the right wrist to get closer. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach up, spiral open. Look up. Exhale, bring it down, spiraling closed. Again, big breath in, coming up. Big exhale, coming down. Okay, last time. Reaching up and hold here. Just breathe, okay? Maybe this is enough. Maybe you'd like to take a break, hands down. Maybe we're tucking the right toes and hovering the right knee. The right leg is strong like a tree trunk, and you're attempting to snap your knees together, possibly dropping those hips a little lower. Soft, supporting elbow. Make sure it's bendy in the right elbow. Take up a lot of space here. One more big breath in. And let's bring that top hand down. Okay. Dropping that back knee. Send it back to hands and knees. We'll take the knees wide and the hands wide here and just kind of circle it out. Okay, hips and shoulders describing little gentle circles. And let's take it back the other way. All right, if you bring your knees close together here, then you can sit your hips out to one side. And we'll come to a seat. Okay, so we're flipping it over. Before you come all the way down, let's do this. We want to put our fingertips just underneath our glutes. So we can drop our palms here. We can drop our elbows and lean back with the support of the elbows underneath us. And we want to use our shoulder blades to scoop the heart up to the ceiling. So find that your shoulder blades can really lift your rib cage up. Put a slight tuck in your chin and a little bend in your knees. And we can think of pointing the back of the head at the back of the mat. Big breath here, okay? Allowing your neck to just release. Inhale. So even though you're allowing gravity to take the head down a little bit, put a little tuck in your chin so that the neck isn't just blasting open to the ceiling. It's still long on the back. Take a few more breaths here. A really nice opening for the fronts of your shoulders. One more big breath here. Then we'll let it go. You can tuck your chin back into your chest here. Move your elbows out to either side. And allow your upper body to roll down. And here is where we will rest. Okay, we're back where we started, back on the floor. So feel free to extend your arms and legs into a nice shavasana. Maybe something else is where you're feeling more comfortable today. But wherever you are, allow your breath to be very soft, effortless. Allow your body to soften and soak up all the magic of your practice. No effort. Nothing to do here, nothing to undo. This moment is perfect. Allow your jaw to hang slack and your forehead to grow soft and expansive. This is a wonderful opportunity to spend some time with yourself. Just being present, just observing everything happening on your mat. The same way that you would just be present and still with someone you love very much, who really needs it. Please keep resting like this for as long as you can. If you have the chance, maybe take a little nap. Thank you so much for joining me.